Well, good evening. I hope you can see me on that camera okay. We're here in beautiful Bozeman, Montana with a living room full of people just talking about some training we're going to be doing tonight about Relive International. And the first little training I want to do is one on what's the basic premise of success in network marketing, in Relive in specific, but just network marketing in general. And the first point I have is that it's simple to understand and to do. Because if you make something super complex, people might like the idea, but if it's too complex, they will never buy into it. And then the other part is, we're going to talk about this here in a little bit, is if it's complex, it does not duplicate. So that's point number one. Second one is, it actually is doable / accomplishable with an 8 to 10 hour a week effort. That's really important. Because if something literally takes 30, 40 hours a week, that puts a lot of people out of commission, because a lot of people have real jobs. And, right, Gina? I mean, is that not, would that not be a challenge? But what if you could actually build a real income in 8 to 10 hours a week? Is that realistic?
It is realistic.
Yeah. For you guys, is that realistic? Okay, it is. Another important point number 3 is that it's really important that you're working with unique, and I say that in quotes, unique, extremely effective and a consumable product line. Because if you have something that's unique and extremely effective, but it's not consumable, it's like, then it's sales. And then you're all of a sudden, you're selling something, but if they don't need another one of those for 2 years, that's a very labor-intensive business model. So, but when you have something that's consumable, it's unique, in other words, you can't get it anywhere else and it's effective, then you've got your hands on something as far as a business model. I know for myself, you know, I no longer have allergies, I no longer have asthma, I no longer have arthritis, I no longer have acid reflux. I mean, it's just amazing what these products do. Christian, real quickly, rattle off 2 or 3 things these products do when we talk about effectiveness.
Energy, mental clarity, just excitement for life, blood sugar issues.
Okay, all right. How about you guys?
Well, originally weight loss.
All right.
Weight loss without realizing it.
Yeah.
I know when I've had enough of the product, the arthritis was a lot less.
Okay, all right.
Digestive issues.
Digestive issues. So we're here. It is effective. Wendy, what about you?
Hormone balance, a chronic cough I had for over 10 years that nobody had any answers for. I thought I was going to cough myself to death someday. Just a cyst in my breast that the doctors thought was a very aggressive form of breast cancer completely disappeared. Don't know that I would be here today, honestly, and severe hormonal imbalance.
Okay. So there again.
Thyroid issues.
Gina, what have you seen?
Abuse.
Abuse. Wow, I've never heard that one before.
A boost in my immune system, so I
Okay.
don't get colds as often.
All right.
And the blood sugar balance.
Blood
too.
sugar balance.
Yeah, don't have any of the blood sugar headaches.
Okay, one more. What else?
Your arms.
And yeah, the pain in my back and my neck, the inflammation from my job has totally gone away. So
Okay.
Wow.
I can practice without pain now.
Practice
I'm
without
like,
pain.
yes.
All right, very good. So like I say, it's important that there are actual, real, tangible stories attached to what it is we market. Because without that, there again, it's got to be something that's doable. Nobody's going to go out there and offer somebody something that has a price tag attached to it that does not work, or even a hint in the back of our mind that it might not work. But with Relive, we know, and so I don't need to belabor that point with this particular audience, but I just know that we're talking about the premises for success in network marketing. And then for the person that's wanting to make this into an income, part of their job description is, this is point number 4, is they personally must faithfully consume these products and then continue to track their results to really be aware of what these products are doing for them. Number 5 is people have to be aware of the tax benefits. That's such a huge point that it kind of goes over people's heads, and a lot of people never take advantage of the tax benefits. Now, in order to take advantage, you don't have to make a dime. as far as income, in order to have the same tax benefits as somebody that's making 100 grand or 200 grand a year. It doesn't matter. You still have the same tax write-offs. Very important thing to be aware of. Number 6 is a person must be able to actually make an income that warrants the time investment and the sacrifice. And this is a training for a future date, and I'm going to do, but I do know that in the relive culture, people have, we've all bought into, one degree or another, we bought into this thing that, oh, I just do this out of a moral obligation. I just want to help people, and I just have a, I'm telling you, that will only go so far, and then somebody in your is going to say, but where's the income? You know, the moral obligation's nice, but where's the income to warrant the time you're putting into this, going to conference or whatever it might be. So it's important that people can actually make an income. And so that's why we have to identify. The next, number 7 is, therefore, because of all that, is people must dig deep into their own heart and being and really begin to identify why they're doing this. You know, and one of our friends out in Indiana, I did a training on the importance of a why, and then he stepped up there and he said, you know, he's a corporate trainer for a big corporation out in Indiana. And he said that there's a Japanese model that he got into, where the Japanese, when they ask what's your why, your compelling why, that he says that you go 5 levels deep. In other words, you don't say, well, my why is I want to make extra income. Then you go, well, why do you want that? Well, I just want more time with my family. Well, why do you want that? Well, I just feel like if I'm there for my kids, they're going to grow up to be better citizens. Well, why do you? So you just keep digging. You keep going down until it's something that really grips you emotionally. Because a superficial why will never drive anybody past the discouragements and the time investment and the finance. But if you've got a strong, what we call a compelling why, oh my gosh, it'll take you through anything, any storm, anything. And so that's number 7, very important point. Number 8 is you must be willing to set a definite time frame. And some of these approaches that we're going to be talking about, some tonight, some over the next, probably the training we're going to do a week from Saturday, we're going to talk about some different approaches. But people have to say, well, I'm going to, in that book that I was talking about that was written in 1984, he suggested a 6-month commitment. And I'm just in my gut, I think it's got to be longer than that. I think it's got to be, I'm in this for at least 1 year, and I'm going to do everything. And that's basically what we told our sponsor when we came to Relive. We said, we'll give this 2 years. We will give it everything we've got. You tell us what to do, we're going to do it. That was a very powerful thing. Had we said, well, we'll wait in for 6 months and see how it goes, we would have never done anything with Relive. But because we were in it lock, stock, and barrel for 2 years, good things happen. So, time frame, very important. Number 9 is, must establish a time and financial budget for all aspects of doing your business. In other words, you have to earmark time, okay, 8-10 hours a week, we already talked about that. You also have to say, I'm going to dedicate whatever it is, whatever you really can honestly budget, whether it be for the products or for going to conferences or going to regional events, whatever it might be, you have to establish a budget. Something that where it's, well, I can't afford that because, no, you've already budgeted for it and you're building your business to help support that budget. It's not just taking money out of you and your spouse and your kids' account. It's building a budget that you're funding through your efforts in this. Very important. And number 10, like I say, these are just bullet points I came up with the other day, but I think they're really important. Is number 10, must always be aware that whatever you do or whatever you don't do, it will duplicate as you begin to build your organization. If you're on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're a 5 in your commitment and your zeal, that's what's going to duplicate. If you're an 8, that's what's going to duplicate. If you're a 2, that's what's going to duplicate. It's just the nature of the beast. We've always heard it said in Relive that bad duplicates twice as readily as good does. And that's true. When you do something that's not right, oh my gosh, it'll duplicate in a heartbeat. But if you do something good and something you want to see duplicate in your organization, then it's almost like a conscious effort. I've got to do this not only for my own benefit, but for what I want to see duplicate in my organization. So those are just 10 things that I think are important to get your head around. And I got to see where my clock's at. Where are you, clock? Wow, that was good. That's only 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Okay, so that's little training number 1.